Hi, good afternoon, viewers. This is the Diaspora panel. We are um, just chilling for today. But nevertheless, we wanted to also take an opportunity to talk to our viewers about a couple of things that is on in the news cycles in Nigeria, particularly around El-Rufai and his um, clamoring to join with the South to defeat the current Tinubu government in 2027. So I'd like to talk very briefly about a topic I've called the North-South divide. Nigeria, the North-South divide. And before I get into it, I'd just like to ask our subscribers, if you are watching this channel and you haven't subscribed, please just take a minute to hit that subscribe button, and you'll get notified of any of our future videos. Now, I think listening to the videos that have been going around, there are three important things that I think we need to talk about. The first is that it seems only to be that the government in Nigeria seems only to serve northern interests. If you are watching, when was the last time, or when have you ever heard that a bill being tabled at the House of Representatives to be deliberated on does not, in quote, favor the South? You never hear those things. It is always, it does not favor the North. And I think I should probably make a distinction here. When I say the North, I don't mean the Middle Belt, which I think used to be called North Central. I think very clearly, Middle Belters have come out to express their dissatisfaction with being lumped with the North. And they're basically saying they have their own identity. And I think Nigerians, particularly Southerners, should take them very seriously at that. They do actually have their own identity. But, it seems that it is always all about Northern interests. Um, there is a slogan, I think, from Sokoto State that says, born to rule. Rule who? I mean, this notion that if the government does not cater to the specific interest of Northerners, and by Northerners I mean Northwest and Northeast, it's Armageddon. It's just really benign. And I think the South has had enough. If you look at what is happening in the Southwest with the Sharia law debate, it is very evident that um, the Fulani hegemony, particularly, always tried to use religion as a wedge to get in, divide the people, and then from there take over. I always look at something, and I tell people from the Southwest this: if you're for most Southwest Muslims, they don't see them as real Muslims. As a matter of fact, um, they wouldn't allow a Yoruba cleric to lead prayers if a Northerner is in there. If they do that in Islam, that is the way in governance they also see the South. They don't see the South as real Nigerians. They see the South as subjects and a space that is holding to their conquest. So, this whole notion of this doesn't favor the North, that doesn't favor the North, I think the South should stand up and should not buy that any longer. Southerners have, in my lifetime, I've never had Southerners say, oh, this does not favor the South. What do Southerners do? They buckle up, they make it work. Northerners should do the same. So I think that's probably one important thing that is worth mentioning. The second thing also is El-Rufai has not been in any role in government for probably about 2 years. And it's like all hell is breaking loose. Why is it that government seems to be the industry for Northerners? I mean, maybe take Dangote, but Dangote aside, the owner of UBA Cement aside, where else, I mean, do you see them making an impact in everyday life other than government? It always seems government is the industry for Northern, and they've only been out of power for about 2 years, and it's like they can't take it anymore. They always have to come back. It's always about them. It's always about their interests. For most Southerners who have gone on the Japa, train, how many people from the Northeast or Northwest do you see Japa? It never happens. So this is, the South really needs to step up. How did Northerners sell us the idea of North-South, lumping the diverse landscape in the South into one choice? Why aren't we even rotating the North, the Southeast, and the Southwest? Why, how come Southerners have bought into this idea it's North and then South? And then anytime he has to come to the South, he has to be a tussle between South and Southwest. This is totally unacceptable. Totally unacceptable. And I think Southerners should not stand for it any longer. Last but not the least, if you look at the GDP data for all of the 6 geopolitical zones, it clearly shows that Northerners, particularly Northeast and Northwest, are the least qualified to run Nigeria. They generate the least GDP, or the least revenue, so to speak. They draw more from federal funds than they contribute. The regions in the South that are contributing enormously to the Federation should call the shots. He who plays the piper, they say, dictates the tune. Oh, no, 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 not in Nigeria. We have the listeners are the ones actually calling the shots. The South shouldn't stand for that any longer. A person who can manage an economy as big and as diverse as Nigeria's should be someone who is already proven in whatever state or region they come from. If you can't even generate enough revenue to cover your costs and you have to rely on federal funding, you're not qualified, I'm sorry, to lead the nation. I mean, what else are you going to do? From what playbook are you going to grow the country's economy when you haven't even demonstrated that in your region? Southerners need to step up, unite. The Middle Belt has spoken. We need to take everybody seriously. Nigeria is not only for the Northerners, and there are many more interests in Nigeria than just the North. Well, I'll just keep it at that. Just a couple of minutes to kind of ramble around some of the things that's going on in the social media. Just a thought. Have a great day.